I want to cover some tournament rules because I know we have some newer players here today. We're going to be following all of the United States Chess Federation's rules today. First, when we're in the playing hall, which will be right down here, take a right, and there's a gym back there. That'll be the playing hall. You need to be absolutely quiet when you're in the playing hall. Okay? You're not talking to your opponent, you're not talking to your neighbor, your friend across the way. Okay? If you have any kind of issue at all in the playing hall, you raise your hand, okay? Raise your hand and one of the tournament directors will help you. We have 5 tournament directors today. John Simons will be the tournament chief. He will be in the back room over there. I will be on the floor. My name is Richard Williams, for those of you who don't know me. Miami Fugatti, Ryan Velez, and Randus Burns will also be on the floor in the playing hall. Okay? So raise your hand, one of us will come over, we'll answer your question and help you. Okay? In particular, the K1 and K3 sections are marked as learning sections. So if you don't know something and you're in the K1 and K3 section, raise your hand and ask. And if it's something we can't tell you what move to make. Excuse me. But if you have a question about the rules, we can answer that, okay? The touch move rule will be in effect. That means if you touch a piece, you have to move it. If you touch your opponent's piece and you can take it, you have to capture it, okay? This can be a difficult rule the first time you play with it, but just make sure you're sure of the move that you want to make before you start touching the pieces. And if that means you have to sit on your hands to not be touching the pieces, then do that, okay? If you don't know how a chess clock works, okay, both players will have a fixed amount of time, and there's a button. You make your move, you press the button that's closest to you. Excuse me. If your opponent runs out of time, you'll probably win, okay? You don't always win. But we do not have enough clocks for everyone, so if you have your own chess clock, we do recommend that you bring it. We do have some chess clocks that we'll use to make sure rounds stop on time. The time controls are as follows. Kindergarten, K1 and K3. Game in 20 minutes with 10-second delay. Okay. K5. Game in 30 minutes with 5-second delay. And then the K8-12 sections, game in 45 with 5 seconds delay. The sections are going to be a little bit different depending on where you're playing. K1 was a smaller section, so they may be playing a round robin. I think we had about 6 players on 5 rounds. They can play a round robin. If that grows at all, it might be close to a round robin, but not exactly. K3 and K5 will be playing a regular Swiss pairing tournament, meaning if you win, you play somebody else who wins. If you lose, you play somebody else who loses. And players are paired on score, okay? In K8, K12 sections, they will actually be subdivided, they'll be merged together, and they're going to be subdivided into ratings-based sections, okay? So if you're in K8, K12, you're going to be playing other players near your skill level, even if they're not near your grade level necessarily, okay? We ask that there's no electronic devices in the playing hall. That means I do not want to see a cell phone in the playing hall for any reason whatsoever, okay? If you're here and your parents had to drop you off and they left you with a cell phone or something and you have no one to leave it with out here, let the tournament directors know before the round starts and make sure it is off, okay? Because I don't want to have to forfeit a player because they brought their cell phone in there, and honestly, that's what'll happen, okay? So the only electronic device that is allowed in the playing hall is a US Chess approved electronic notation device, okay? No electronic devices. We do encourage students to take notation of their games. There are a lot of rules in chess that require you to take notation to be able to use them to your benefit. For example, a draw by 3-fold repetition, a draw by 50 moves with no pawn pushes and captures. It also helps tournament directors know what happened in the game right before you raised your hand and called them over. Okay? If you're not taking notation, you raise your hand and call a tournament director over, and you say, well, this, and this happened. If there's no record of it, we can't do anything. So taking notation protects you as a player, and make sure you have a clear record of the game and what's going on. Okay? Sportsmanship, highly encouraged around here. This is almost never an issue. Okay? But, you know, win with dignity, or lose with dignity and win with grace. You know, I mean, it's okay to be upset, but be upset outside the playing hall. Okay, if you need to take a minute to yourself, that's fine. If you need to know where bathrooms are, they're out here on the concourse. Okay, so if you're playing, you don't need to raise your hand if you have to leave to go to the bathroom. You can just go and come back. Okay, you just go and come back. But the clock doesn't stop while you're in the bathroom, just a heads up. So use the bathroom before the round. That's a good idea. All right, questions? We do have notation sheets and writing implements. They will be available just inside the playing hall. Any other questions? All right, give us a couple minutes and we'll get pairings up. Thank you.